Hi, and welcome to the registration tutorial for the Big Sky State Games website. This tutorial covers the process involved for registering a team for a team-based sport like basketball or volleyball. First thing we'll need to do is go ahead and find our sport in question here. Go ahead and view basketball. All of our sports have info pages along with them that provide important information for the participants, including online registration deadlines, event info, any fees, any locations, all that good stuff. If we are ready to register, all we need to do is click on the Register Event button in the right. This will bring you to a register team or login page. If you're already an existing user of the Big Sky Games website, you can go ahead and use the user login to log in and continue. If this is the first time you've been to this site, you'll need to register. Register your team name and contact information. We assume you, being you're kind of entering the team information, we kind of assume you're the team contact or coach in this case, so we do ask you to put your name, a unique email address, strong password in the system. Any required fields are kind of denoted along the way, so you can go ahead and fill those things out. I'll go ahead and get my contact information in here. Okay, and I've got all my information entered in there, and we're down to the last question. You only need to click on this if you yourself as the team coach are also participating on your team. So in this case, I'm just going to be the coach. We'll go ahead and continue. This will bring us to a registrations overview page. This will kind of show any registrations that we currently have, and of course we don't have any being we just registered, but this does break up the process into what we need to do. We need to set up our teams, add any participants, build our roster and register for the event, and then go ahead and pay for our registrations. Being a coach, it is possible to have more than one team. We can actually click on the Manage Teams links in the navigation to continue to add teams. We can actually edit our existing teams, or if everything looks good, we can actually continue and add participants onto our team. When we're looking at the participants page, we don't currently have any participants. Again, I just added myself as the coach. I haven't added any players yet to my team. Players are not yet part of a roster until they've been added and associated to an event. So in this case here, we'll go ahead and add our teammates one at a time. We do ask that you put in their first name, last name, their email address, their t-shirt size, their age, and then their gender. Like we mentioned here, a unique email is required so that we can then send them a waiver and allow them to review the information that you're putting into the system on their behalf. So in this case, I'll go ahead and add my information in here. Okay, and I've gone ahead and added most of my players here. I've just got one last one to enter in here, so we'll go ahead and process this information. If everything looks good, you'll get a confirmation message. Right away you can kind of see all the players that are listed here, including if they've agreed to a waiver. In this case, none of my players have yet. Being we haven't registered for any events yet, we can go ahead and continue to manage them. We can remove them just using the appropriate controls on the right of their name. If everything does look good, we'll go ahead and continue to the registration. On the Register Event page, all we need to do now is just select the event that we're actually registering for. And then the second half of it is just adding those participants to our roster for this registration. We do have some controls here in terms of being able to remove people from our list here. We do have a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 10 participants per entry fee in this case here, and we've got 9 players. So we'll go ahead and process this information. If our registration was processed, you'll get a confirmation message, and we're brought back to the registration overview page, and it looks like our testing team has been successfully added for the event that we registered for. Being we haven't paid, we can still continue to edit this information by removing them and re-adding the roster however we needed to. So at this point, the only thing left to do is we can either continue to add more teams, add more players, or we can just hop over to the checkout. And our checkout page lists all of the events that we've registered for across all sports, and this is displayed per user. At the same time, you can go ahead and purchase additional things like our yearbook, provide any donation, enter any promo code, or keep continuing to the checkout. We do list everything, just kind of in an invoice view, how the fees are broken down. We do have an online processing fee of $3. At that point, the last step is to just enter in your payment information, including an email address that you'd like the receipt to send to. We do only accept Visa, MasterCard, and Discover at this point, and we just need to make sure that the billing address then matches what's information we have on the card. And then go ahead and process the information, and your transaction will go through. After your registration has been processed, you can go back to the registrations overview page and see that our paid status is now displayed. Let's say, for example, that we need to continue to add players to our team after we've paid. We do provide some additional controls for viewing, adding, and changing your roster. There is an additional fee for adding a player or changing a player depending on the type of process that you're going through. But let's say that we wanted to add a player to this team. First thing that we would need to do is make sure that we add this player to the team by visiting the team participants. And as you can see, I've already added our extra individual here. Remember, we had 9 players. We've added another one. This person has not been added to the team registration yet. They're not playing, and I can still edit them. Once the participant has been added, we can go back to the registration page, and we can click on the View or Add to Roster. This will display everybody that's listed out on the page. Now this little error is showing up because we still are within the maximum player allotment for our entry fee. So in this case, we'll need to visit the Change Roster form. The Change Roster form displays the similar information, all the members that are on the team, but in this case it'll allow us to add that additional player that we've had, or we can actually swap out one of the existing players with our new player. For our example, we're just going to add them to the team, so we'll go ahead and do that and process the information. Being we've already paid for an original registration, the change roster fee in this case is $15. Now this is different depending on the sport, but the price is clearly marked as you're going through the process. So after this is done, you can go ahead and follow the checkout payment process exactly like the way that you did before, and you're all finished.